it's Ebony. Welcome back. Hope y'all are doing okay today. Welcome to my first retwist video. At this point in my hair journey, I was officially 4 weeks locked. I just wanted to show y'all my hair fresh out the shower. Well, this wasn't really fresh out the shower, but my hair was still very wet because I kept it in a shower cap while I was doing some, chores around the house and whatever. But after I washed my hair, conditioned it, I also applied a leave-in conditioner, and that's what I had in the shower cap at that moment. And right here, I'm just putting in some oil. I think I just use regular argan oil. I like to use an oil to seal in the moisture and make sure that my hair is moisturized until the next wash day, until the next retwist, different things like that. So I do like to focus on each section and make sure that each individual lock is properly moisturized. After that, I am just parting my hair. So I normally just go across the middle because that's where I have I call it my base part or anchor part because, I separate, the way that I did my locks, I separated the front from the back. So I start with that part first just to kind of, get that even and clean that up a little bit. And then after I finish that part of my hair and get it, as straight and cleaned up as I need it to be, I go and start from the back and work my way forward. I also sprayed it again with water. I wanted to keep my hair wet and saturated because I didn't want to cause unnecessary tension or breakage when trying to part. Let me know if there's a better technique or better way I should be parting my hair when I'm trying to part it for my Loc Retwist, because I know doing, work on dry hair is not good, but also is doing it on very wet hair okay? I feel like maybe I should have it damp, but I really didn't want my hair to get super dry during the process. That's why I had it, completely wet. But anyway, back to the task at hand. I am just parting here to do my Loc Retwist. I also want to mention that I wasn't really trying to cause, again, unnecessary tension. So you'll see sometimes I try to part, and if it's not if it's seeming like it's too much of a force or too I'm trying to manipulate it too much, then I'll just stop trying to force it because I don't want to, again, cause that breakage and all that unnecessary tension. If the hair is easy enough to pull apart and glide out of the lock, then of course I'm going to try my best to get the part as straight as possible. But if it's just seems like it's too much of a fight to do it, then I stop and see if maybe I can straighten it a different way or part in a different area to get it as straight as I need. So let's get into the actual retwist technique. So I would, like I said, part it, and then, I applied a braid gel to the root of my hair for the part that actually needs retwisting. And then I comb that through, make sure that it's flat and that it's all combed through. I don't put a lot because I didn't want to weigh my hair down, but I put enough to, coat the hair and get it as sleek as I need it to be. And then I comb that through. I use the little comb to basically twist the hair, do a comb coil. And then I use my hands to try to do, they call it the locksmithing method. I went between 3 different methods here, honestly. I used the comb, the locksmithing method, and then also palm rolling a little bit. This was my first retwist, so it was a lot to learn. I feel like it was not the most successful retwist, if I'm being honest. I think it lasted me maybe 5 to 7 days, and then it didn't look good anymore towards the end of that. And I don't mind retwists not looking fresh all the time. I think they actually when it frizzes up a little bit, it looks really good too. It was that the retwist would unravel to the point where it looked like I didn't even do a retwist. So this was a learning lesson for me, and I definitely had to figure out, one, how to make the retwist last longer, and two, how to get the retwist to stay. So I just continued to do this around my head, parting, combing through the area that needed to be retwisted, you know, applying the braid gel, different things like that. Again, with like this being my first time, like I'm trying different techniques. I'm trying to see what works out and what will get my hair to retwist, what feels comfortable and easy enough for me to do. I will say the locksmithing method is not as easy as it looked. It took me some time to get it, you know, down to a science. I had to watch a lot of like tutorials about it. So yeah, that probably wasn't my favorite method to use, but I feel like it is effective if you know how to do it. I'll say with me parting, again, this being my first retwist, I felt like I was I felt like I was creating too many new parts, if that makes sense. Like when I was parting, I found myself pulling a lot of hair from different areas, which would result in a lot of loose hair around my head. Y'all, it was so much loose hair that was getting tangled and that would not, you know, attach itself back into the lock that I was trying to, I guess, reassign it to. That was a big learning lesson for me, which the next time that I did a retwist, I was a little bit more reluctant to pull too much hair from another area of my head. Think of having two twists and you're trying to straighten out the part and you notice that you're pulling, you know, a little bit more hair out of twist B to add to twist A. I was finding myself doing that, and it resulted in a lot of loose hair that was not being twisted back into a twist at that point, or a lock at that point. That was not, you know, good, because I don't want loose pieces of hair all around my head getting tangled. I want it to be assigned to a lock. You know, I want that hair to be incorporated in a lock. So I had to find a way, not in this retwist, it'll be an upcoming video, but I had to find a way to get those hairs to stay in a lock. I found myself like, you know, touching my hair and pulling at the loose hair and also trying to retwist it back into locks days later. It was just too much manipulation. So be careful when you're doing the parting as to not, you know, unnecessarily grab too much hair where you don't need to, because it can result in loose pieces of hair, at least in my experience, and that's not what I wanted. As we know, this is a journey. Every attempt is not going to be perfect, and plus, like I said, this is my first retwist, so mistakes will be made. As you can see, I'm just going to have to practice and continue to take in tips, watch videos so that I can improve on my technique. As always, if you have any comments, constructive criticism, any notes, tips, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to get some tips from people who are experienced in locks. Definitely let me know below. And if you're interested in following my journey at all, as always, that subscribe button is right there for you. So please do click on that so that you can see more videos of mine and follow my journey if you choose to do so. So yeah, at this point, y'all, you can just continue to watch me do my hair in real time, me parting, combing through, retwisting, all that stuff. We're gonna fast forward again, and then I'll meet y'all later in this video. So all of my locks have been retwisted, so now I'm just applying some mousse to my hair. I don't know if this step is entirely necessary, but I did this to help like smooth everything down and whatnot. So I applied that all over, and afterwards I tied my hair with my headscarf, followed by my hooded dryer, where I sat under the hooded dryer, I want to say for maybe 30 minutes. I can't remember exactly how long it was, but it probably was about 30 minutes. I wanted to make sure that all of my hair was completely dry. Now I will say my retwist looked really good, maybe for like the first, I don't know, 5 days, but then it just untwisted after these days. It didn't look good at all anymore. I just had a lot of loose hairs that were not completely attached to a lock. So what I learned in this step was just that I may need to have a different approach when it comes to parting and try not to get so many hairs outside of the lock itself. But for my first retwist, I think I did pretty good. Like I said, I did learn some things. But as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, if you're interested in following my journey, please do subscribe. We're gonna get it together eventually, y'all. I am excited and happy to take y'all along on this journey, and most importantly to do it for myself. So if you're interested, please do subscribe. But until next time, y'all, peace.